Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to the market call for the 28th of April, 2025. We're excited to have you all here. I am CJ, and I'm going to be taking you on today's session as your host. We're going to be starting our analysis looking at the dollar index as we try to break down the impact of economic news, fundamental news, technical and sentiment on the US dollar. And then we're going to relate that as we now analyze other foreign currencies, starting off with Euro USD and GBP USD. And then when we're done with that, we're going to look at gold against the dollar, look at the yen baskets and one or two other yen pairs like GBP JPY and Euro JPY. A lot of you who are on our mailing list must have received a mail of the breakdown of what we expect to happen for the remaining part of this week. And we're going to be analyzing that further in this analysis session. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's get up and comment the market color, starting off with dollar index. Now, if you look at the dollar index on the weekly time frame, you'll see that the dollar index is taking out the lows of 2 years, right? So if you look at the low of 2024, it has been taken out. The low of 2023, it has been taken out. Now, what is left is the low of 2022, which is somewhere around here. The dollar index has not taken that out yet, but that looks to be its next target should it continue this sell trend that has commenced since the beginning of this year. Now, what we're anticipating to happen right now, seeing that the dollar index has taken out significant lows on the weekly time frame, right now we're expecting a
You are muted, Sal. CJ, you are muted. We can't hear you.
All right. Sorry for that break. We're confirming that our audio is up. And if there is any reason why the audio is not up, then it should probably be the receiving network. From our own end, we've confirmed that our radio is up. So sorry for the interruptions, and we're going to proceed with the market color for today. All right, so clearly we are analyzing the dollar index, and on the weekly time frame, we pointed out earlier that the dollar index had broken some lows to the downside, okay? So if you're just joining us, once again, you're welcome to the market color. We're looking at the dollar index, GBP USD, Euro USD, gold, and then we're going to be looking at the yen baskets, GBP JPY and Euro JPY during today's market color. We're going to be analyzing all these pairs and be looking out for the things we expect to see in today's analysis, all right? So moving ahead, looking at the dollar index, we said that the dollar index has broken previous lows. It has taken out the low of 2024, which is right here, and it has also taken out the low of 2023, except for the low of 2022, which has still been right here below at around 194.578. Right now, since it has taken out significant lows, we're expecting retracement to happen on the dollar index into 100.882. So that is one of the levels we're expecting a retracement to happen, because an expansion has taken place and the expansion took out liquidities on the downside, which is all these levels right here. We're expecting that move back to this level. Now, if you look at it on the daily time frame, you would also notice that this level right here holds a significant portion of where the retracement should happen. Now, if you draw your fib tool, assuming we want to take our fib from here all the way to this downside, you see that that point where we marked on the weekly time frame, let's go back to the weekly. All right, so on the weekly time frame, this is the fair value gap, right? On this weekly fair value gap, on the daily time frame, it holds a good retracement point, which is the premium zone from 50 and to 61. This is the premium zone we're expecting dollar index to trade into, and then we sell it off from here afterwards. So my anticipation for today, my bias for this week on the dollar index is a retracement into this level and then a sell-off. So we can draw a path tool like this, buy into this level here, and then sell off. So let me draw it again. So for the dollar index, we're expecting a buy into this level here, and then a sell-off afterwards. So this is what we're expecting to happen on the dollar index. If this finally plays out, then we're going to be having a good ride on the dollar, and analyzing that as well with Euro USD and GBP USD. We're expecting quite the opposite to happen. So for the dollar, this is the bias on the daily time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame, you can also see that the dollar index has broken its last structure to the downside. So this is showing us that all coasts are clear for, the coast is clear for a buy move to the upside and then a sell-off afterwards. Now, if you look at this level on the 4-hour time frame, this is a previous support level. We're expecting that it should turn to a resistance. So on the weekly time frame, we're seeing that as a fair value gap. On the daily time frame, we're seeing it as return to premium for a further sales. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we're seeing that as previous support, which we expect to turn to resistance afterwards. So these are the things that we're looking out for on the dollar index as we anticipate it to follow this path that we have drawn out here. A buy into 100.882, and then a sell-off from there to the downside, okay? So this is our bias on the dollar index. Now let's move over to Euro USD and see how interesting Euro USD is going to be this week and what we're expecting to play out for the remaining part of the week. Now on Euro USD, you can see that just taking out the high of 2024 right here. It took out the high of 2023 right here, just like the dollar index. And then interestingly, we also saw it go and weak out the high of 2022. So we are expecting that Euro USD has done, as Euro USD has done that, we're also thinking that the dollar index is going to follow suit. But now that Euro USD did this, it did it very briefly. And let's take this away. So it did that very briefly, but then it didn't close above. So this is telling us that we might see some retracement on Euro USD, all right? Now, what I'm saying is that on the dollar index, it took out only the high of 2024 and the high of 2023. For Euro USD, it took out the high of 2024, 2023, and also 2022. So because the dollar index has not done as much as Euro USD has done, we might see Euro USD selling further into these retracement zones that we expect it to sell into, all right? So for Euro USD, I'm expecting a sell-off for today. And where am I expecting the sell to happen? Into this region that I've drawn right here, 1.10500 price point. So we're going to go further into details and we're looking at it from the daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, and then we'll be looking out for possible entries on 1 hour and possibly the 15 minutes time frame while we analyze this, okay? So let's move to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, you see that that space holds a fair value gap right there, okay? As this place is holding the fair value gap right here on the daily time frame, this is making it more attractive for a quick sell-off into this region on Euro USD. All right, so for the daily time frame, we're still expecting a sell to happen. Now on the 4-hour time frame, you would also notice that the last structure, which is right here from this lower high here to this higher high, Euro USD has broken it clearly. So we're expecting the sell to continue all the way here. Now, if you also look closely at this level right here on the 4-hour time frame, you see that in between that fair value gap on the daily time frame lies another fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, this 4-hour time frame fair value gap also has this old resistance level right here. So I'm strongly anticipating a sell of Euro US into 1.11448. This is where I'm expecting Euro USD to sell into for today. So you should be going to the lower time frame right now with me as we look for other places where Euro USD may potentially be selling off from. So let's look at that together on 1-hour time frame first. So on the 1-hour time frame, where are we expecting Euro USD to sell to? Now, one of the places that I would have been expecting would have been this high of the Asian zone right here. But you've seen clearly that Euro USD has taken that out. It's taken out the high of Asia. Right now, from where price currently is, I'll be waiting for a quick reversal and a sell-off to the downside. Now, let's look at this together. On the 4-hour time frame, we have what we call the box strategy. And this is very common for everyone who has been joining this market call-up before now, and especially for our students of the FX Bootcamp training. So if you are a student of the FX Bootcamp training, you already know what we're expecting to happen around here. So I'm going to break that down very quickly. Let's look at it on maybe the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes time frame just gives us a better view. Now, on the 15 minutes time frame, you can see we had a left shoulder right here. After this level was formed, price went ahead to sweep it. After sweeping it, price came back and took out this low. After taking out this low, you see price is returning gradually into this place. At this point here, we would want to sell Euro USD. So let me mark out the exact place. So this is where we would want to sell Euro USD from. So if you are live watching this, if you're watching this analysis live, I would want to join this trade from here, and I would have about 20 pips stop loss. Okay, this is where I'm going to take my entry on Euro USD with about 20 pips stop loss. Then my take profits would be somewhere around here. Let's mark that. For price to take out all these lows and then trade into this level right here. So 1 spot 1 to 100, that is where my take profit is going to be. Okay, so I'm waiting for price to enter into this 15 minutes box pattern. Once it enters into this level right here, I'll be taking myself. So this is a live trade call for you all, and I'm hoping that everyone is able to take advantage of it when it finally plays out. So right now we're waiting for Euro USD to trade into this level, and then we'll be selling it off. So let me also add a path to from here. And then this is what we are anticipating to happen on Euro USD. So once this plays out, we're taking the trade to the downside. So you can take a quick snapshot of this, or you can watch it later on our YouTube channel when we're done, so that you can mark out the exact points. But the exact place where I'm looking to take my entry is 1 spot 13637, 1 spot 13637, and then my stop loss is going to be at around 1 spot 13846, 1 spot 13839. Yeah, so that's where my stop loss is going to be, and then my take profit is somewhere around 1 spot 12100, 1 spot 12100. That is we take profit. So I'm hoping that everyone on this call will be able to analyze this as well, and if it aligns with your entries, if it aligns with your own personal analysis or personal research, then you should take advantage of this trade, and let's ride it on to the downside. Okay, so that is that for Euro USD. Now for GBP USD, let's look at it from the weekly time frame, because this is the beginning of the week. So for GBP USD, unlike Euro USD and the dollar index, who have taken out the high of last year, which is 2024, the high of 2023, and then the high of 2022 for Euro USD especially. GBP USD has a different schematic altogether. Now for GBP USD, the high of 2024 took out the high of 2023. So it's rendering the high of 2023 invalid. So what we're looking out for right now is the high of 2024. Now, I am anticipating that in the second wave of bullish run for foreign currencies like Euro USD and GBP USD, GBP USD would most likely take out the high of 2024. Okay, now let's look out for what we are expecting to happen this week. Seeing that it is a few pips shy away from the high of 2024, we're expecting this to become an inducement, the high of last week to become an inducement and initiate price to sell further downwards. And then on the next wave of the bullish run is going to take out this high. That is what I am expecting to happen on GBP USD. Now, in line with what we're expecting, let's look at the daily time frame for a further confirmation of our bias. So on GBP USD, you can see on the hourly time frame that it's clear that the retracement would have started. So on the daily time frame, we can go ahead to draw our Fibonacci retracement to see where we're expecting price to retrace to. Now, if you look on the GBP USD, we have the 50% point midpoint somewhere around here. So we're expecting that GBP USD may trade into this fair value gap right here. So this is a fair value gap. So we're expecting GBP USD to trade into that level sometime this week and then resume the uptrend back to the upside. So this is what we're expecting to happen on GBP USD. Let's look at forward time frame also. Now, on the forward time frame, GBP USD is yet to break structure, unlike what we have on the 1 hour time frame. But with what we've analyzed so far on the dollar index and other currencies, we're expecting a stronger dollar, which is for a retracement, where we're going to be seeing GBP USD and Euro USD selling off briefly. So for that, we're expecting a sell-off of GBP USD into this place that we've highlighted right here. So on the 1 hour time frame, you can go ahead and start looking out for possible entries on GBP USD with the intention of selling it all the way to the downside. So on the 1 hour time frame, we saw the clear break of structure that happened all the way around here. Right now, price has returned into this other block, and we're expecting a sell-off to the downside. So on the 15-minute time frame as well, you would also notice that price has taken out the high of Asia. Seeing that the high of Asia has been taken out, we're expecting that sell to continue right now all the way to the downside. Okay. So right now, what I'm looking out for on GBP USD, seeing that I don't have the same schematic for the box pattern that I saw on Euro USD and GBP USD, what I'm expecting to happen right now is to see my entry signature on the 5-minute or on the 15-minute time frame printing out on GBP USD, and then I'll be looking to sell it further to the downside. So for GBP USD, I've not gotten a clear entry yet. We'll be looking out for that. And surely as the day goes by, we're going to be updating you on further movements on GBP USD. So if you have any entry signature that you like to use on GBP USD, make sure that you start looking out for it for the sell patterns to print, and then we'll be taking a sell on GBP USD. So my general bias for GBP USD is a sell, just like I had on Euro USD for a sell as well. Now let's move over to gold against the dollar. Now for gold against the dollar, let's quickly look at it on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, it seems like gold has created a new all-time high, which is right here. 3,500. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we were saying that we're expecting to see gold trade to 3,250 and then 3,500. After it traded to 3,500, we said we're expecting to see it come back to 3,250 and possibly trade all the way to 3,000 level before it resumes its uptrend again. Now, on the daily time frame, that retracement is what we are expecting to happen on gold. So if you flip this level all the way here, you'll notice that gold is still a bit far away from where we are expecting it to trade to. We're expecting to trade to 3,250 or lower, with another block residing right around that 3,250, which is here. On its previous visit, we know that gold traded into that level, close to that level at first, but it didn't really tap into it. Right now, we're expecting to see gold trade all the way here and then maybe resume its buy trend. So for today, I have very, very short bias on gold, which is to see it trade into this level. And if it breaks, then we'll be looking to see it trade all the way to 3,000 price point, which is somewhere around here. So these two levels are the two places I'm expecting a sell-off on gold. So for today, I'm expecting a clear sell on gold to happen into the remaining part of the first half of this week. So that is my bias on gold. So let's look out for possible entries on gold this morning. Now, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, you'd also notice that the start of today traded into this previous breaker block right here, and then started selling off afterwards. If you look at the 15-minute time frame as well, you'd also notice that the 15-minute time frame has broken structure, price has returned to this mitigation block, and then we're looking for a clear sell. Right now, what I'm expecting to happen on gold is for gold to show me any of my entry signatures, and then I'll be taking a sell. Now, one of the things I would want to see possibly on gold is for a variation pattern, or what we call the evening star pattern on gold to form on the 15-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame. If you don't know what that is, then I'll ask you to just Google it quickly and check what evening star pattern looks like, so that you know what you're expecting to play out on gold. Another thing that I'm expecting to happen is the engulfing candle pattern to form on gold for a sell, and then I'll be taking my sell to the downside. Although originally I expected to see gold trade all the way back to this level before selling off, but if it doesn't do that from any of these regions here, I'll gladly take a sell to the downside. So my perspective on gold is very clear for today. I'm expecting a clear sell to the downside. All right. So that is what I'm expecting on gold. Let's look out for that as we expect gold to start dropping to the downside anytime from now. Now, let's move over to the yen basket as we start to wrap up today's market color. For the yen basket, we've seen it trade out of some of the regions that we expected price to break. On the weekly time frame, we expected it to break here a couple of weeks ago, and it has done so. So our next point of interest for the yen basket is for it to break this high right here. Okay, this is the next level we're expecting the yen basket to break. Now, if you're new to the yen basket, what this is that it is like a basket of all the yen related currencies: GBP, JPY, CHF, JPY, Euro, JPY, and all the likes. Now, this serves as a basket or an indices for all of them, and then measures the overall, gives us the average movement that we expect to play out on the yen related currency. So this yen basket is like the dollar index, but for the yen pairs. All right. So for this guy, I'm expecting that now that it has sold off into this region, I should see it retrace and then continue selling, continue buying back. All right. Now that the dollar index is giving us some signs of bearish, a bullish run for a retracement, we are seeing the dollar in the yen basket selling off. So I expect it to sell off into this region or sell into this fair value gap before it continues buying back to the upside. So if it breaks that level that I've drawn right here, which is 6868, we should see it trading to the fair value gap and then resume its trend. Okay, right now that the dollar is looking clear, it looks like the dollar is what we have in focus. So we might be tending towards more trades and more plays on the dollar related currencies rather than the yen related currencies. So let's just quickly wrap up our yen analysis, then we'll look at the yen pairs. Now, for the yen basket on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that it has been stuck within this range from this swing high right here all the way to this swing low right here. The yen basket has been stuck within this range and it has refused to pull away from it. So we're expecting that this range is going to continue until the dollar index resumes its sell. Then we might see a buyback of the yen for the yen basket from here. So from what we are seeing currently, I'm expecting to see the yen basket resume its buy trend from this particular place where it is. So we'll be looking out for that into the remaining part of today. All right, so let's look at GBP JPY. Now let's look at GBP JPY on the weekly time frame. For GBP JPY on the weekly time frame, you can see that it is trying to make a clear sell trend, but it has been doing that quite slowly, and which is normal. And we're expecting that we're going to see it sell off afterwards. Seeing that price is traded into this weekly fair value gap, I'm expecting a sell-off of GBP JPY to the downside from the weekly time frame to come and take out 183.889. 183.889. I'm expecting a sell-off to take out that level on GBP JPY. Now, if you look at it on the daily time frame, we might see one more push on GBP JPY into this level right here before the sell. Okay, so I won't be surprised if I see one more push of GBP/JPY into this level 192.204, and then a sell-off will happen afterwards. If that plays out, then good and fine. I'll be gladly taking a GBP/JPY sell from here all the way to the downside. Now, like I said earlier, because the yen basket is not in focus, or because the yen as a currency is not in focus at this period, we might not be expecting smooth moves on the yen pairs right now. So we're just going to have to apply extra patience while trading the yen pairs during this period, okay? Now let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame as well. Now on the 4-hour time frame, this is clear. We might see one more push into this level before a sell-off will start from this level to the downside. So I'm waiting to see GBP/JPY. I will not be very much interested in this buy into this level right here. But instead, I'll be waiting to see the sell, since that is the clear direction of GBP/JPY. I'll be waiting to see the sell to the downside. So if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame, even though it might look tempting to take a quick trade from that level, from where price is to that level, because it's about 100 pips when I calculated. All right, so this is about 100 pips. So we might be tempted to take a quick trade to that upside for GBP/JPY. But if we do not see clear entry signatures printing out, then we might have to abandon that trade setup. So one of the places I would want to take a buy for GBP/JPY from is this level right here, 190.900. So if I see GBP/JPY sell into this level, I'll be willing to take my buy from here all the way to the upside, and then I'll take my sell to the downside. So this is what I'm expecting. Let me use the part 2 to draw that out. So this is what I was, okay, let me complete it. So if you look at it on 1-hour time frame, okay, so this is what we're expecting. The price trade into this level here, we take a buy to the upside, and then from here, we take a sell. So if you are on this live call, you should be looking to take advantage of GBP/JPY sell, and then the buy to the upside. Well, most especially, we're expecting the buy to the upside, and then we'll be selling GBP/JPY further downwards from that level. Okay? All right, so this is my analysis. Let me just add one more thing to this so that it becomes clearer. Okay. So this is what we're expecting to play out on GBP/JPY this morning. Okay, so once price gets into this level, I'll be looking for my sell for GBP/JPY, and then I'll be looking for my buy rather on GBP/JPY. When it gets to that higher level, I'll be looking for my sell from that place to the downside. And then lastly, as we wrap up for Euro/JPY, we're expecting pretty much similar thing to what we have on GBP/JPY. We're expecting a sell on GBP/JPY overall, but before that happens, we might want to see price go ahead to take out some highs on Euro/JPY before we sell. Now for Euro/JPY also, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen when price visits this place here. As we're seeing that liquidity is lying around that level, we're expecting to see price come and take it out. After taking it out, then we'll be expecting a sell-off afterwards. So that is what might happen on Euro/JPY. I might see a sell from this level, but before then, we're expecting it to buy here and then sell off afterwards. Now, the 15-minute time frame as well, Euro/JPY has been caught up within a tight range, and then we'll just be looking to see what is going to play out afterwards. But my preferred trade is GBP/JPY because it's giving me clear schematic, clear structure as to what I'm expecting on the yen pairs. But for Euro/JPY, it's not yet clear, but we are expecting to see a buy and then a sell-off afterwards. So these are my buyers on Euro/JPY and GBP/JPY. We're expecting a buy for today and then a sell-off afterwards. For gold, we're expecting a sell. For Euro/USD, we're expecting a sell. For GBP/USD as well, we're expecting a sell. So you should be able to take advantage of them when you see them playing out, okay? Now, someone is asking, he says, CJ, all right, thank you very much. Do we expect a negative correlation between yen and the dollar? Like if the dollar is buying, yen will sell. Okay, now to answer that question, there is no clear correlation between the yen and the dollar. Now they have a different types of correlation based on what is going on fundamentally, all right? Now, both of them are classified as safe haven currencies. At some point, when the particular theme of the market is the flight to safety, when we're seeing uncertainties in other places, not in the US, not in Japan, we're seeing uncertainties. Maybe we're seeing wars in different other zones, like when we had the Russia, Ukraine, the Israel and Hamas, all those other kind of things. When we're seeing uncertainties in the global economy, we expect that JPY, which is the yen, and then USD, which is the US dollar, are going to be buying. We'll be expecting buy for the both of them because they are termed safe haven currencies. Most people want to take out their assets from all these other currencies or their reserves from other currencies, put it in the yen, put it in the dollar because they are not affected by this global instability. Now, when there is now an instability stemming from the US, just like we had the recent tariff war that dominated most part of March and April, that is something that is straightly related to or directly related to the US. We would expect that if people are leaving the US dollar as a preferred currency, they will be running into the yen. So at that point, their correlation now changes into a negative correlation, where we'll be seeing the US dollar selling because people are dumping the dollar, and we'll be seeing the yen basket buying because most people will be moving into the yen and then moving into gold as well. Okay. Lastly, when we now see that the theme of the market at a particular point is risk, everything is looking balanced and people and investors are willing to take on more risk, we'll be seeing that the yen basket, or which is the yen, and then the dollar would both be selling because investors will be looking to buy assets like gold, assets like stocks, and other high-yielding assets. So we'll be seeing both of them selling. So there is a point where we're going to see both of them buying, which is the safe flight to safety, when there is uncertainty in global economy aside US and Japan. Then there is a point where we see both of them selling off, when we're seeing that the theme of the market is risk on. Investors are willing to take more risk on high-yielding assets. Now, there's a point where we now see the negative correlation or the divergence between the two of them, when one of them is having a domestic economic uncertainty, right? Like the tariff war on the US, or if there is maybe a war in Japan or anything that has to do with negative news from Japan, we're going to see negative correlation. So if there's negative news from US, we're going to be seeing the dollar selling and the Japanese yen buying. If there's negative news on the Japanese side, we're going to see the Japanese yen selling and the dollar buying. So their correlation is very dynamic because it's shifting based on the current theme of the market, okay? So I hope I've been able to explain this in detail, and we're going to be wrapping up since that is the last asset pair that we've analyzed, and that is the last comment we're going to be taking for today. This is going to bring us to the end of today's market color, all right? So we hope that everyone is able to take advantage of everything that we've analyzed so far today. For the US dollar, USD JPY, we're expecting a sell-off, but before then, we're expecting a quick buy and then a sell-off of the USD JPY, okay? So for that quick buy, we might see price trade further into this region, okay? When price trades further into this region, we might be expecting a sell-off afterwards. So for where I'm expecting a buy into, I'm expecting it to buy all the way into this level right here, 145 spots 600 or 145, exact 145, and then we'll be selling off afterwards. So for USD JPY, I'm expecting something like this, and then a sell. So this is what we're anticipating today as we conclude today's market color, right? So for those who are totally new, make sure that you go and watch the recap on, or those who came late, watch the recap on our YouTube channel so that you can get yourself in line with what we've analyzed and be able to take advantage of these trades to the direction that we've analyzed so far this morning, okay? Now, if you have any question based on what we've analyzed after today's market color, make sure that you ask your questions on the various Telegram groups you belong to. We have the Market Color Telegram group, But if you're not there, if you're watching from YouTube, you can ask your questions in the comment section and we're going to be sure to attend to you immediately. All right, so that is the last comment. And all right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today's market color. We're going to meet again by 2 p.m. for a quick recap of the market color, where we look at what we analyzed this morning and what we're expecting to play out for the remaining part of the day. Also, just to note, those of you who have enrolled for the FX Bootcamp, which is a training where we give you more detailed explanation of what is happening on the market. We show you how we analyze and the various strategies that we use to enter the market. For those who have enrolled for that course, we're starting the class today by 10 a.m. GMT +1. So your classes starts today by 10 a.m. GMT +1. Those who are planning to enroll or those who have enrolled but have not finished their registration, make sure you do so before 10 a.m. so that we can get started with the class and move on right on with the 5 days intensive bootcamp, where we're going to be teaching you all the strategies and breaking down the markets for you to the best of our abilities. Okay, so till then, wish you good luck and good training. Cheers and God bless you.